Welcome back to the Knick-Knack Review. Today's episode, we get to look at Invincible Episode 3. Let's dive in. So the episode starts out with Mark and his dad kind of doing a little more training, flying in the air, and basically giving him more and more advice. He gives Mark a history lesson on his true heritage. I really enjoy these intimate moments between father and son because it really, even though it's a cartoon, it really captures that bond that a father and son can share. And while we all know the true Omni-Man and how vicious he really can be, with his son it's always the same. While he may be a little more pushy when it comes to training him and making sure that he's exactly like him, you can really tell that he has a love for his son and his wife for that matter. So while yes, I really don't care for Omni-Man all that much considering what he did, I really do appreciate some of the more intimate moments he and his son share. The question does remain though, does he want him to be just like him or does he want him to be better? Not really sure at this point. Meanwhile, at home, it looks like Mama Grayson is playing detective. She might be giving Darkblood a little run for his money. And it looks like she'll be helping Red Rush's wife sell her home. Meanwhile, it looks like the new Guardians have made themselves at home in the old Guardians' lair. Feels a little different without the original team, but I'm sure it'll get back to normal. Or at least, somewhat normal. That darn robot, I swear, he's up to something. I just can't really tell what it is yet. Like, he's my favorite part of the team, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if he's trying to better the team or if he's putting them under a test or if he's really on the other side. Not sure what you're up to, but I'm on to you, robot. One scene that I really enjoyed was when Cecil tries to recruit Omni-Man to go on Mars to get him away from the planet. Mark actually volunteers his service. He's like, oh yeah, I'll do it, why not? And once he finds out it's going to be like a 2-week trip, he's like, yeah, sorry, I'm in a relationship kind of, and it's going really well, so nah. The part that I really enjoyed was what his mom told Mark after he was starting to have doubts. She basically pulled an Uncle Ben and said, make sure you're the superhero you want to be. Don't let anyone tell you what kind of superhero to be. And it really reminded me of what Uncle Ben told Spider-Man, this is the years where you're going to turn into the man you're going to be for the rest of your life. Just be careful who you change into. And so I thought that was a nice little sweet moment between mother and son, and it was, I liked it. Mark ends up going on the mission to Mars with the astronauts. Everything is going as planned until they actually land on Mars, and Mark, like any teen, gets distracted by his phone, and it feels like a while has passed, and then he turns around only to see the astronauts that were there completely gone. Mark starts panicking and he's like, oh my gosh, I need to find these people now. Starts thinking, oh, I'm dead. I got to find these people now. He eventually tracks them down in the underground layer where the Martians are hiding. Now, he was warned earlier in this episode about Martians not living on the surface, but rather underground. That's why we never see them. And he always knew of the Martian, but he never put together that there are actually other Martians on Mars. Once Mark stumbles onto the other Martians, they have a quick conversation and they take him to the leader. So after getting a brief lesson from King Martian, Mark eventually sees where the astronauts are and is like, yeah, deuces. Next scene, it just cracks me up. You just see them running and they're like, come on, let's get out of here. Mark and the astronauts manage to escape, but not before Mark grabs a Mars rock for Amber. He's so thoughtful. One thing King Martian actually mentioned to Mark was that these Martian facehuggers, if they were to attach to one of the humans, they would become all-powerful. Not really sure how that works, but I like it. So yeah, once the astronauts take off with Mark, it cuts back and you see that one of the astronauts actually had a facehugger on there and he's all attached and now he's a threat. So yeah, that's a thing. Great times. And Omni-Man and his wife are having a discussion about his innocence. She basically gives him doubt, and he ends up convincing her that he is innocent, while Darkblood is not so lucky. Yeah, Cecil finds some planted blood from the Guardians in his office, and is just like, yeah, I know it wasn't you, but I have to do this. So he gets sent back to hell. Meanwhile, Mark finally makes it back to Earth and into his home, and just in time to make it awkward for his parents walking in on them. Yeah. Every kid's worst nightmare. Now, this episode actually ends with Robot giving the DNA of Rex that he obtained earlier in the episode. He gives it to this total recall mutant in a water tank person. Not sure what the heck that is, but I'm sure we'll find out on the next episode. Find out next time on Dragon Ball. Nah, I'm just playing. Now, if there's anything I missed, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. That about does it for me today. This was a quick review on episode 3. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. If you enjoyed what you see here, please make sure to... well, you know what to do. As always, I am Clint the Knickknack, and I will see you on the next one.